Divergent thinking is a thought process used to generate creative ideas by exploring many possible solutions. It typically occurs in a spontaneous, free-flowing, non-linear manner, such that many ideas are generated in an emergent cognitive fashion. Many possible solutions are explored in a short amount of time, and unexpected connections are drawn. Welcome to Minds in Formation. Yep, here we are. Actually, it was a trick. I brought you down to the basement. I'm going to murder you.
I recently Jory and I went to the Stanley Hotel, and there's been a couple moments where I've like joked like, oh, this is actually where I'm taking you to, you're gonna die here. And finally, the like fifth time I made the joke, he was like, it's getting a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, that might be too much. I'm getting a little concerned. It's coming up too often.
I was like, yeah, you're right. It might be a little weird, but just keeping you on your toes, you know.
Yeah, I have to be careful sometimes because I can have a morbid sense of humor, and I can't help it. I like to cut just a little bit because the best jokes, they have a hint of truth to them, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So when you can find the perfect balance of like cutting someone just a little bit, but in a hilarious way, not overly mean, it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I ride that line, and I have to be careful. Especially at work, I'll look around sometimes. I'll be like, dude, did anybody hear that? I'm like out here just talking crazy in the open.
Have you ever had a moment where that line you thought was maybe back a little bit more, but for the person on the receiving end, it was over the line?
Yeah, for sure. And I'll feel bad too. I'm kind of empathetic in that way. As far as like, if I ever think I hurt someone's feelings, I'll be like, oh fuck, it'll make me feel bad. I don't like that. So I'll go up and I'll be the first one to apologize if I think I was a little too much with somebody.
Yeah.
This is how I roll, though. I can't hold a grudge, you know? Even if somebody else is doing something terrible. Like it happened not too long ago. Somebody was being like super shitty, and I reacted to them. Mm-hmm. But then it was like created this weird energy. So I was like, oh, whatever, dude. I'll just go apologize. Even though I think what I said was accurate, I'll just do it anyways. And I felt better. So I was like, all right, cool.
Do you think it's I think I have a easy time letting things go. I feel like for the most part as well. But I think sometimes when I think of people wronging the people I love the most, it's almost like it's easier for me to hold a grudge on those people versus like the people who have directly wronged me.
For sure. Yeah, that's 100% true. Yeah, that is 100% true. Totally have found that to be accurate for myself. Because again, I'll let shit go. People can do horrendous shit. I'll be like, no, I'll give you another chance, or I'll at least be nice to you and try to like keep the peace or whatever. But especially with my kids, like if anybody is like causing them distress, oh man, you're lucky we're in the age we're in because, because I don't want to go to jail. You know, there are times when.
Yeah. Dude, my sister called me the other day, and we talk to each other like 3 times a day, if I'm being honest. We call each other way too much.
Damn.
But she called me the other day, and she said she took my niece, who's 3, to a park. And she was there playing at the park, and my niece is like a very tender-hearted little kid. Like, loves to share with others and like wants to engage with like everyone that's around her, very trusting. And like she said that Nova came back to my sister and said that, Mama, this girl told me that she doesn't like my clothes. And I was like, I would beat up a little kid. And that later in the car on the way back home, she said, Mama, that really hurt my heart.
Ooh.
That girl said she doesn't like my clothes.
Yeah.
I was tough. Like, oh, it made me angry at a child.
Yeah. I remember when the kids were small and having that happen. You'd be at a playground or a pool where there's like a water slide and there's a line, and you see someone getting shovey, like some other little boy or even a little girl, like, because who knows, at that age it's just whatever, it's free for all, right? But somebody's like elbowing them around, and they're a wobbly little toddler, and there's like a 5-year-old that's like, hey, get out of my way, I'm next. And I'd be like looking from across the way, be like, I also want to suplex a kindergartner right now. Do that shit again.
God, it's those like social situations too, where like, you know, both kids are really being tested in the moment,
Yeah.
right? Like, is the kid being affected by that gonna like stand up for themselves in the moment and be like, no, like I was next in the line, you get behind me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's probably important to let those things play out because parents, especially of young kids, you know, everyone's heard about like helicopter parenting and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
the smallest thing happens and everybody freaks out. But it's important for little kids to have a certain amount of conflict and learn how to figure it out, right? Like you can't just rush in and interrupt everything. Like they got to figure it out as long as no one's getting their ass beat or anything.
Yeah,
right?
of course. I think it's interesting though. I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't know exactly how I would handle it in real life right now. But it's like when I talk to my students a lot, sometimes I see them get flustered if they have to enter a conflict, like even if it's just a small disagreement. And it's interesting to see like kids that deal with conflict regularly and how they handle like a certain threshold versus like there's really conflict avoidant people, obviously, right? And to sort of like it's interesting to see how they like not only how they interact with conflict, but how they either just completely try to run away from it and like do other crazy shit just to avoid a conversation or a potential like punishment or something, versus like the kids that are just like, oh, all right, just like tell me how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and when they do have conflict with each other, you'll see that play out. I mean, I see it play out with my own boys. For instance, I could almost guarantee you could have run the same simulation twice. With one of my sons, if he's out running around and someone around his age is like starting shit, it's on immediately. It's go time. With the other one, it'll avoid it at all costs. You know, it's just not his style. Like he won't deal with it. Just like, yeah, whatever, man, out of there.
Yeah.
But it's like what kind of dictates how that works out? Because again, thinking about my own kids, they're almost exactly a year apart, and a part of you almost thinks that they're going to be the same. You know, they got the same parents, they're born close together, they grew up almost as twins, but they're vastly different personalities.
Yeah.
Even though their experiences were relatively the same.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, does that nature versus nurture
Yeah, right.
kind of get into it a little bit?
Yeah.
I was recently binged this reality show. I don't remember what it was called, but it was about the different styles of parenting. And there was like free range, helicopter, strict, disciplined, like all these different types that they categorized, and they selected families that like really embodied each category throughout, like from across the country, and they ran like social experiments on them and their kids to see how their kids would respond. And like the first test was jumping off of a high dive, and like, are you gonna force your kid to get over the fear in the moment and jump off the like high diving board, and like how are you gonna support them in doing it? It was really interesting to see like and what, you're not necessarily looking for a result, I guess, and there's some kids are gonna jump, some kids aren't gonna jump, like that's just how it's gonna be. But how it's a social experiment more for the parents, but in the moment the parents think it's a social experiment, like, can I get my kid off the diving board? Like, and so they're doing everything they can to try and get the kid off the diving board. And it's some of them went like crazy, like, get off the board, like, get off the board, you're gonna jump, go get off the board. And then some of them were like, if you want to do it you can, if not, no worries. And then, or others were like, do you want me to be at the bottom ready to catch you, like, what do you need? Like, it was really I don't know, it's interesting to see like how we're all raised differently, right? We all have our own experiences, even like your sons are only a year apart, right? But clearly they experienced reality, or they perceived their own reality in vastly different ways.
Totally. It's a trip. And I think you learn, I mean, you know from your work, it's like you're saying with the diving board thing, you have to vary your methods with every personality. Like you might have one personality that comes into your office that you're trying to help. And I mean, I don't know. Do you think that you vary your techniques a lot? Because
oh, totally.
Yeah. Like you kind of cater to each personality or each energy or whatever the situation is going on.
Yeah.
And yeah. And again, with mine, it's like same thing. If they're both doing the same exact situation and I was encouraging them or discouraging them or whatever, my approach would be vastly different. One of them, I'd be way more stern. I'd be like, get your shit together, dude. What the fuck? And another one, I'd be like, come on, let's talk about it. Relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the human experience.
It's a trip. It does bring up interesting, albeit maybe somewhat unsettling conversation for some people, because some people don't like it. But it's like the whole topic of free will, and how much free will do you truly have? Because again, we're talking about these personalities and how you look at the world, and they're all vastly different. But did you create that? At any point in your life, did you decide that was how you were going to be? Because you didn't have any say in your genetic makeup, or who your parents are, or what your environment was. And, you know, the way that you see the world, even as a small child, you just kind of snap into reality. Kids like to say spawn in, like I just spawn into different things, but it is like you're 3 or 4 years old, and just like the lights like kind of come on, and you start being able to form some memories, and you're just kind of snowballing down a hill. Life is just happening. And so how much say do you have in the person that you actually end up and the decisions that you make? Because thoughts and decisions just kind of come to you, right? You know, certainly there's times where you sit down and you think something out or whatever. But again, is that just kind of your program? Like that's just how your brain is essentially coded to work because you are the way you are? Or did you decide like, I'm going to be this type of person? Or did it just happen?
Yeah, that's a really interesting. It makes me think of like how our subconscious thoughts, right? They're always there, but we don't know what they are or where they are or what they are. And then at some point, the subconscious becomes our conscious. So, are we making like small decisions that kind of form our subconscious that then lead to conscious? Does that make sense? Are you following that?
Yeah. I mean, I think that is true. Like they're little building blocks.
Yeah. Like just even small things though. Like what are you intaking throughout the day? Like what are you seeing? Like what are you thinking about? Just like as what's crossing your mind as you're seeing the things in front of you.
Yeah. But then, there's this kind of never ending argument that, and I'm not going to explain it that well. Like if anybody really wanted to dive into it, Sam Harris has a few talks. He's like this neuroscientist, and he has a few talks about the free will concept, and he breaks it down in this really interesting way. But if it is all like coding, it's like even your ability to make those decisions to say like, I'm going to eat healthy, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to be positive or whatever, it still almost goes back to your operating system that is in place, the ability to make that decision. Because look at like an addict or like a homeless person that's got all kinds of fucking problems, right? Nobody wants to be there. Nobody thought to be there, but they many times seem trapped, and it's just like their wiring or their operating system doesn't have the tools, like whether it's discipline or whether it's like an actual mental disorder. I mean, that's kind of different, right? But like nobody wants to be there, but some people seem to not have the tools, the equipment, or whatever you want to call it, to be able to get themselves out of it.
Yeah. I think too, like when people realize that they're in that place, I think a lot of the times hopelessness, which is like such a powerful feeling, I feel like, over the human body, like at what point do you lose that hope and just kind of accept that this is like, oh, like this is where I'm gonna be now? And so do you lose the ability to have that want for discipline or whatever it is?
But yeah, that's a good point. And people are highly adaptable, right? Like anything can be normal. Like it happens all over the world as it is right now. You could be born into vastly different circumstances. Like we have it pretty good here in the West. We're like chilling for the most part. Yeah. But there's other parts of the world that are not like that. But it can still just seem normal because we can normalize almost anything. And there's like periods of history where crazy shit were going on, like World War II shit,
Yeah.
Like that somehow everybody got on board in Germany once upon a time to think this was normal. This is cool. This is what we're doing. So like
For
our
real.
minds are so weird like that. We can get caught up in shit and just be like, yeah, I guess this is what's happening now. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think this is a little bit of a crazy segue? I'm going to take a sharp left right here. But do you think that could be why a lot of governments and like including the US, I think we're loosening it up a little bit, but like don't want psychedelics to be kind of used in a medicinal way because of the like, right? Like there's a lot of research on like the increase in neuroplasticity from it, especially in psilocybin, right? Like, and being able to make those connections and stuff, obviously, I believe would make a person less likely to succumb to that kind of like group think, right?
Right. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, and it's maybe a little like conspiracy theorist, to a degree, but I think it's twofold. And maybe it's not even conspiracy theory, actually. Maybe this is just fucking how it is. But yeah, I do think there is a control element. The government in general, or not even say the government, the powers that be, like they, whenever we talk about they would probably prefer people to be more sheep-like. Just keep going to work. Just shut the fuck up. We'll like give you some scraps. Just keep it going. We don't really want you like expanding your mind and thinking about all these grand topics, because that would maybe hurt the bottom line of whatever agenda or money-making fucking thing that's going on. So yeah, they probably would prefer people to just get behind the person in front of you. Don't think about it too much. Keep it moving. Cog in the machine, right? The same way people say the education system was kind of originally founded almost in that way. You got the bells, do your shit. Next. Perfect. If you're going to the factory, right after you finish school, you're already used to it. I know the deal. Do what I'm told. Shut the fuck up, and then just try to get to the next step. And there's a lot of that happens in life. So yeah, I do think there's a control element, and then there's also the unfortunate fact that the medical industrial complex, I guess we could call it, wants to make a lot of fucking money. They already do, and they want to keep that money printing machine running for as long as they possibly can. And psychedelics can like straight up cure like addiction and mental disorders and stuff, but then nobody's going to buy your fucking pharmaceuticals and your antidepressants and your anti-anxiety medication and all that shit.
I know. Think about how much money, right, the pharmaceutical industry is making off methadone right now.
Yeah.
So much money.
Booming.
So much money. So, and if that's obviously not a cure, right? It's just like feeding your addiction in a, I don't know, for lack of a better word, healthier way.
I guess.
But yeah, so why would they want to give you something that could cure that kind of disease? I kind of viewed addiction a bit of as a disease, but
yeah, sure. Me too.
Yeah. So why would we do that? I don't. There's some places in the world though. Like I'm 90% confident. Switzerland is now doing this thing where they have like they had a really bad heroin problem for a while, and so now in Zurich mostly, I think they're doing this thing now where they're allowing addicts to come get like a pure dose of just straight pure heroin, like at the hospitals, and then let them go function in society.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way. It's better than people like shooting up behind a dumpster like outside of a school.
Right. I think the thought behind it is let's put the drug dealers out of business. We'll make it affordable and clean.
Yeah.
And then put them out of business, and hopefully it slowly leaves the country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. Because it seems like it can go sideways, because I think Oregon like decriminalized all drugs not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And there is this kind of thought process that like, yeah, you reduce crime because you don't have drug dealers and all this dirty money all over the place. You just kind of decriminalize or legalize everything and beef up recovery programs, and hopefully it kind of just like figures itself out. But it seems like it backfired there, and it was almost like drawing in extra like homeless people and drug addicts because they're just like, oh, I can just go there and like be a vagrant and nobody will fuck with me. you know, and sometimes get free supplies of certain things. They'll just like hand out syringes and stuff, which, I mean, I guess, but it didn't seem to work. But it almost seems like here in America, we have a hard time, like a hard time keeping our shit together.
That's wild. Yeah, I don't know. Drugs are a crazy thing. I don't know. Anything that changes your brain chemistry a bit too.
Yeah.
I mean, even like psychotropic medication in itself is a crazy drug. Like,
dude, alcohol is one of the craziest. And it's everywhere.
Like, I don't know. It's funny that we experiment with like kind of changing our brain chemistry every once in a while and just like seeing what happens or like trying to make sense of it.
Yeah, I think it's probably a normal part of humanity, or yeah, I think it's normal and it probably always has been, because there's a lot of instances where you can look back to older cultures and even some of these cultures that still exist today, like down in the Amazon or whatever, and they're like deeply connected to like ayahuasca ceremonies.
Oh yeah.
Or like natives in North America were super into peyote, and I think a lot of them like used marijuana too. But of course, well, what those are is like medicines that they were using in a ceremonial or coming of age type of way, so they're probably respected. And
yeah,
it wasn't like people were just getting fucking ripped and, you know, going to whatever the Indian version of Woodstock was. Or, you know. No, they were like up on a mountain trying to figure out their place in the universe, you know. So that's like a vastly different lens that you're looking at it through. But then compounded with the fact that now we have shit that's like super strong, made in labs, like methamphetamines and like fentanyl and all this shit. You know, it's just like cooked up in a fucking bathtub, basically. And it's crazy strong and hyper addictive.
Yeah.
So it's like not all drugs or substances are created equal, right?
This is true, yeah. I have been hearing recently there's a little bit more studies of marijuana that above a certain percentage for like the THC is actually contributing to increased levels of anxiety and depression. I don't know if that's over like a longitudinal like study or like if it was years at a time or if it was just short-term use. I don't know. But that is so interesting to me that just like a different percentage of the same drug could cause a different effect.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it makes sense because I mean it's been being beefed up, you know, genetically. You know, they're just splicing all these strains and just trying to make it like stronger and stronger and stronger all the time. Where the shit that you would find wild, or even if you kind of cultivated it back in the day, would be nowhere near what we got going on right now. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're talking about like the addiction factor kind of like going up with that too, with that super high potency. So there's more and more that people just like smoke all the time. And if you say like, we'll just stop, they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, anytime. But then try it and have a legit hard time with it.
Yeah.
People love to say it's not addictive, but at these stronger potencies, I think there are things coming out that be like, that might not be entirely true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because any regular user, if you're like, you just have to stop right now, you're like, I don't like that idea.
I know. I mean, I think about, I do wonder sometimes because it's been helping me sleep for so long.
Yeah.
Like, and I've tried different sleeping medications and it doesn't help.
Right.
Or like makes night terrors worse or something. So like, I don't know. It would suck.
Yeah.
My sleep would suffer greatly.
Right. Yeah, and that's a common thing. And but it also does disrupt REM sleep. So a lot of people do use it to help sleep, but it disrupts REM sleep. So there is a concern that while you are sleeping and you probably feel better overall, you're not hitting that like deeper pocket. So you're missing out on a certain amount of recovery. But then that's a trade-off, because like if you have chronic insomnia and you fucking can't sleep, well, that is really bad. Because I have issues with that too, and I've tried stuff, and even just like CBD drops, and like maybe helps a little bit, but you know, sometimes.
And I really don't want to be put on like a sleep medication. Like, for a long period of time. Like, that doesn't seem good for anybody, in my opinion. Like,
No.
that to be knocked out every night doesn't sound fun.
No. And, some certain things work better for certain people. I've tried a lot of different medications. And for whatever reason, my brain chemistry has a horrible reaction to most medications. So like sleeping pills, if I take any type, and I've tried a bunch of them, if I take them more than like 2 or 3 days in a row, like my entire mental health just goes cascading down to dangerous levels. And it's
Oh,
happened to
wow.
me a few times, and I didn't quite know what was going on. And I was like, dude, I'm so fucked up. I don't know what's happening. Literally to the point where I'm like, I want to blow my fucking brains out. And then
Oh,
I like
shit.
stopped taking it, and then it went away. And same thing with any type of psychiatric stuff. Like there's been times where people have tried to say, like, well, a lot of times it was with sleeping as well. Well, they're like, take this one. It's like a light antidepressant, but it also has sedative qualities, and yeah, same thing. So I can't really like take any type of medication like that.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Even some over-the-counter shit like Benadryl. If I take Benadryl, like
Benadryl will do that to you?
if I take it multiple nights in a row, yeah, I'll go downhill so fast.
Oh my God.
It's weird. I don't know what it is.
That is strange.
Yeah.
Like, what about like cold medicine? Like, even that is gonna. No, that no.
I mean, I've never taken it more than like a night or two.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, it is weird. So I just try to stick with just like natural suggestions like melatonin and L-theanine and magnesium and just some of these like supplements that so I have like an AM and PM like little pill box I'm a super nerd about. Yeah. So that helps a little bit. And I think it also develops this like habit because a lot of your sleep patterns are like psychological. That's why
totally. Totally. Yeah.
yeah, that's why they talk about sleep hygiene being so important.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't go to your bed is only for sleep and smashing. That's it. Otherwise, don't be in your bed. Like no electronics. Like lower the lights as you're getting closer. Like blah blah. All these things. So you kind of develop this little bit of a ritual. But I've found that even just taking my PM like vitamins, I think it helps with that ritual because like sure enough, like 20 or 30 minutes later, I'm like, man, I'm good. I can kill the TV and pass out.
Yeah, totally. I think that having a routine, I mean, the Pavlovian response is strong, right?
Totally.
Like it's such a real like theory for a reason, right? Like I have a very significant like bedtime routine. Like I have to take a shower before I go to bed. I like bare minimum I have to like wash my feet and my face. Like I have to feel like I took a bath or bathed or showered or something before I get in my room.
Yeah.
And I have like I do a quick skincare, brush my teeth, and like check my phone for the last couple things, and then like that's it, and I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a very like simple. I say goodnight to my dog, and then I climb in my bed.
Yeah. I think those things are helpful in a lot of ways. I like a routine, and maybe it's somewhat tied to my career and whatnot, and there could be something to that. But yeah, if I like wake up at the same time every day, and I work out relatively at the same time every day, and I eat my meals relatively at the same time, and I, for the most part, do the same things, and while it can get kind of repetitive, I find that I feel the best, and my body feels the best, and I operate at my best output,
Yeah.
if I stick to that, which we're killing right now because we're doing like a dry spell, we're not drinking. So there's no reason to stay up late or anything. So even on the weekends, I'm like up at 6, ready to go. I'm like, let's fucking get in the truck. Let's go for a hike or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's just nice. It makes you feel a lot better.
Oh, totally. You guys aren't gonna drink for Halloween
No,
or at these coffin races?
no,
No.
I know.
Oh wow.
I know it's a little bit of a bummer because
This is California sober though.
yeah, I mean, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not overly worried about it, but I like to flex those muscles once in a while. I'll do like certain diets or certain like dry spells or whatever. I'm just like, nope, I'm just locking in for a while. And then whenever it's over, go back to being a hoodlum.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Should probably take myself a tea break soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember hearing this guy say something that I always thought was kind of a clever way to look at things. And he was like, with anything that you do, like especially with drinking or any substances or anything like that, he's like, you should occasionally take a 30-day break. And if that's really hard for you, that's a total disaster, then you might want to reevaluate your relationship with said substance, whatever that is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of a little bit of a reality check and like a discipline check, and then just a chance to kind of reflect, like, am I doing this too much? Am I abusing this? Is this becoming a crutch for me or whatever? It's important to think about, you know, from time to time.
Definitely, right? That's that 30 days. They say, takes 30 days to create a habit, 60 days to really solidify that habit.
Yep.
To have it be like second nature.
Totally. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes, but I might do this dry spell for a while.
Yeah.
I haven't done like a longer one in a while, and it's not that I necessarily think I have like a horrible drinking problem or anything like that, but I don't know. As I get older, I also don't feel like my brain is like getting any like quicker and better or anything like that. And drinking definitely does not help, and it just like tanks my motivation. Like even just if we have a few drinks and stay up a little bit late, not even going crazy, the next day I just kind of feel slow and sluggish and unmotivated. Yeah.
Good to take those breaks.
Yeah, totally. Totally. You don't really drink too much though, huh?
I really don't. No, I'm definitely like social drinker only. Like I think I've had the same pack of beer and like seltzers at my house for at least a year.
Damn.
Like I don't drink at home, like unless I'm going out or like it's an occasion or whatever. But yeah, pretty much just socially.
Yeah.
And so that ends up being maybe once a week at the most. Because I'm also typically a morning person, so like I want to do something on my weekend morning. I want to get out and go do something on either Saturday or Sunday.
How often do you turn it up? Turn it up and go ham.
Oh God! Actually, this Halloween party on Saturday 2 years ago was the last time I probably was the most intoxicated I've been out in front of people in a long time.
I think Jess said something about it.
Yeah,
Jess was hammered.
Yeah, I was gone, and that was probably the last time I like turned up like that.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite. I don't like waking up and being like, did I do something absolutely heinous? I do know that I broke 2 glasses at this person's house, so I feel like this is my like redemption year. I'm bringing plastic cups to encourage less glass breaking.
Damn, that's wild.
But yeah, I had accidentally, I was talking with my hands, and I was like, I was having a good time. Like I wasn't like, from at least what people were telling me, I wasn't terribly sloppy, but I was having a good time, and I was talking with my hands, and I accidentally like threw my glass bottle, and it shattered, and I'm cleaning it up, and as I'm cleaning it up, I stand up like to throw all the glass away, and as I'm standing up, I knock my friend's glass out of her hand, and then that one breaks.
Just back to back.
Yeah, and at that point, I think it was Abby. I think she looked at me and she was like, "I'm not helping you. Like, you get that."
Yeah, good luck, dude.
It's like, okay, well deserved.
Yeah. Had to almost do one of those with Jess the other day. Did we tell you about the golf club?
No.
I can't remember if we saw you.
Golf club.
We had a weird day the other day. I think it was just this last Sunday. Well, it was funny and weird. So first we go to the golf course because we're just kind of chilling and we don't have anything to do. We're like, let's go hit some balls because we've been talking about wanting to like learn how to play golf better and golf once in a while because it can be super fun and you get the right crew. You're just out there. You can drink and drive. You know,
the drinking and the driving is my favorite part.
It's a good time. It could be a good time. But anyways, so we're just at the driving range, just slapping balls, and we're right next to each other. So I hit mine, and then I'm like checking it out. Woo, look at that. And I hear her go like, oh. And a part of my brain, like, I was like, no way. She just yeeted her club, dude. And I looked, I seriously, no shit, looked up in the air and it looked like it was slow motion. Like my 9-iron was just end over end going foof, 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 just out into the distance. And I was like, holy shit, I've never actually seen somebody do that in real life. It's like a cartoon.
That's so good.
Yeah.
She chucked it that hard?
Yeah, it seemed like it was in the air forever. It seemed like it was hovering.
Damn.
It was crazy.
Just pretty strong. I don't doubt it. That thing must have been flying.
Yeah, she went for it. She must have swung as hard as she could.
Damn.
But she's like, what do? I was like, well, you got yourself into this situation, so now you have to go make an announcement and ask everyone to stop so you can go get the club. And she's like, oh my God, this is going to be so embarrassing. And I was like, well, you know, I believe in being a gentleman, but this is all you. You got to take care of it on yourself.
Oh my God.
So she's like, hey guys. And they were all like good sports.
Yeah.
You know, they were like laughing at her and chuckling. And
Yeah. Why golf? Why was golf the sport that you wanted to get better at?
Well, I've played before, you know, so I've played off and on throughout my life. I never really got that good at it, and I've always enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I could also totally picture myself like getting older and like wanting a sport or a hobby, and that potentially being a good one, which unfortunately is like almost the case right now because I can't even really play volleyball.
Really?
It hurts my back too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got like a couple discs that are blown out. So I think it's the jumping. I think it's the jumping and the dropping down and doing it repetitively. Like I can jump and I do it in my workouts. I'll do box jumps and stuff. But if I'm just like boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
you know, and maybe a combination of the twisting with the hitting or whatever.
Landing off balance on one foot sometimes, that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and I try to work on it and, you know, I work out and do all kinds of core stuff and PT and whatnot. But yeah, for whatever reason, that sport like aggravates it real bad. Which sucks because I was getting into it and I was having fun.
Yeah.
And we would go to King of the Court on Mondays and we'd always go together. And, you know, we'd have our own little community over there that you see every week. And it was really fun. So it's a bummer, unfortunately.
Yeah. So golf.
Yeah.
I'm surprised golf doesn't hurt your back, though.
Yeah, that one seems okay. Yeah. So I guess the twisting with that is fine.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. I think I just can't get into golf.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's not for everyone. It's also like so hard and frustrating at first. Like it totally sucks at first.
Mm-hmm. I'm really hoping beach volleyball is just my like longevity sport for my life.
When did you start playing?
I didn't start playing until my sophomore year of high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played soccer my whole life. Everyone in my family played soccer. And then I got into high school and I got kind of over it and I went to a bigger school and someone in my life was like, you're really tall. You should go play volleyball. And I was like, okay. And I ended up really liking it and it worked out and kind of, I don't know, brought me to where I am today. That's for damn sure. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's crazy. Like right now I'm doing a lot of like college applications with my seniors and it's just like had me reflect like what a moment in life that like, you know, really you can go down one path and that's when you start making decisions that will just change your life. Like every choice you make just starts to change your life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a little example of like the butterfly effect almost thing.
Yeah.
Like you just decided to go to volleyball tryouts or whatever, you know, and go check it out. And then it became this passion that now you've been doing for what, like over 10 years or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over 10 years now. And like, has taken me all over the country. Like I've lived in so many different places and I don't know what my life would look like now, honestly, if I hadn't like gone and played volleyball.
Yeah. Did you get scholarships in college?
I did, yeah.
That's pretty impressive to start, like just pick it up in 10th grade and like get good enough to get scholarships, right? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was all right. I definitely, like, I went to, I think where I grew up too, like the competition was so much.
Oh, right, because everyone's
dense.
playing in Long Beach, huh?
Yeah, like both indoor and sand. And like, I think the competition kind of, it forced you like get good fast or get out,
right?
You know?
Did you play beach back then, or was it just indoor initially?
I'd like mess around at the beach with friends, but honestly, I didn't really like start training and like having beach practices and drills and that kind of stuff until college.
Mm.
I was at Long Beach City College, and Misty May Trainer was the head coach that year, and she was like, "You need to come play beach volleyball," and I was like, "Beach volleyball is never gonna be for me. Like, I'm only gonna play indoor."
Yeah.
And so I went and like practiced with like the beach team, but was like pretty set on staying indoor. And I transferred out for indoor, but then ultimately ended up hating it and went beach only and finished college playing beach.
Oh, wow. So your college had a beach program.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And you played it the whole time in college, or
For 2 years.
Okay.
For 2 years. Yep.
Indoor first and then swapped over?
Mm-hmm.
Sick. Yeah, you probably traveled all over the place back then, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome. And now, actually, this last season was her first season. My captain from my beach team in college took over our beach program.
Oh, shit.
And it's been so cool to watch this like transition of like, you know, somebody I played with like is now running this program, and they'll have like alumni weekends, and it's just so cool. Like, it's just been such a highlight of my life, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
and I think,
rad.
you know, it's why part of the reason why I connect so well with Jess too is like, it's like a different understanding. I don't know. Like,
Well, that's how you met. I mean, we wouldn't know you
Yeah.
if it wasn't for that. If one of y'all didn't play, we
Yeah.
would probably have never met.
yeah, totally. I know. It's very serendipitous that Jess and I found each other.
Yeah, and you like grew up like just down the street from each
I
other,
know.
basically, and yeah, it's pretty wild. We always joke around. I don't know if we told you this before, because sometimes we complain about the social skills. I don't know if that's the right word, or just the social scene in Colorado Springs. Because we're like, you know, people are like, they're all right, whatever. But anytime we meet anyone cool, we're like, they're either from a different country or from California. And the amount of times that it's been true is surprising. When we meet someone, they'll be like really awesome. We'll almost look at each other. They're like overseas or California. And it's been true so many times. It's wild.
Oh my God, that is wild.
Because it just, you know, people from California are like more outgoing, approachable. Like anytime I go over there, you just walk around on the beach, like you just are talking to people, you're chatting, you're sparking up like a random conversation. You'll be riding your bike and some guy will come up on a skateboard, and you just start talking about something. You'll be looking at it and be like, hey, what's the waves look like, blah, 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 or whatever.
Yeah, dude. I do miss that quite a bit. Like,
Yeah.
Long Beach especially, and at least to me, I'm obviously very biased, but it was such a good place to grow up, and such a great place to get to go back. And like, I agree. Like, it's different here. People here are nice, I would say, but I don't know if I feel the like genuine kindness.
Right.
You know what I mean? That difference of like, oh, you're nice, but like, you're not kind.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or
Like,
or not real open, or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
There's a little bit of like a barrier. Like it's like polite, but there's a little bit of a barrier.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've like been out in Long Beach and like, I don't know, you make a friend because you're like, oh, dude, looks like you're like struggling putting that in your car. You want some help? Like, or like, I don't know, you're sitting at a bar and the person with you goes to the bathroom and the person next to you is like, oh, what are you guys here doing? Like, you guys want to come hit this place next with us? Like, let's take a walk. Or I think that has to do with it too, is utter lack of walkability.
Yeah.
It's like my number one. I do love living here. Like, it's very like, I don't know if I would ever want to live anywhere but here or Southern California.
Right.
If I'm going to be in the United States. Like,
Totally.
I'd live abroad, but in the U.S. it would be Colorado or Southern California.
Yeah, pretty much.
I totally forgot. My brain went away. It
Walkability.
disappeared. Yeah, the walkability. I miss that. Like, I wish the neighborhoods had more like a local like grocery store or corner store or a little bar or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's huge. That's probably a huge aspect on that kind of level of community, and mixing it up with the people that are near you. Because in a town like this that's spread out and that's not walkable, and you don't really have that type of atmosphere, it's just like you're at your house. Like, by yourself unless somebody comes over, and then you're in your car by yourself going to a place and doing a thing, and then there's no time to just kind of like mingle around as much.
Yeah. Or even just like places that would kind of cultivate that community. You know what I mean? Like a good example, I guess, of it would be like just randomly Red Leg Brewery, right? Like it's a place that cultivates like conversation with your neighbor, right? Like, oh, you want to sit on the lawn? Can I sit next to you? I got to put my blanket down next to you. And then you like that, like, you know, like there's not as many places that cultivate that kind of community, I'd say. Whereas like, I don't know, I think of other places, and even randomly in my brain, I'm thinking of like, I went to Austria a couple years ago, and it felt like there was like parks, and even like the way the public transit is set up and where the stops were, and like all like it just made it so many opportunities to like connect with different parts of their communities.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's true. Our shit is just not set up like that here. But on a positive side, I would say you can meet really cool people. This place is great if you have shared hobbies, right? Like
Yes.
If you are a snowboarder, right, you'll find other snowboarders. Or if you decided you wanted to pick up rock climbing, you'd find some rock climbing crew, or, you know, and then you'd be like, oh shit, these guys are the best, you know, like you guys with volleyball. But it's like almost like you need that kind of shared interest here, because people do have all these amazing hobbies that they like to do in the mountains, like mountain biking, climbing, and kayaking, fishing, or whatever, all this shit.
Yeah.
So whatever your thing is, you know, you kind of gotta go for it that way, or maybe just meet cool ass people on the trail. Because I mean, that happens sometimes too.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, yeah, I eat my words a little bit when I think about, especially like the hobby stuff, like the snowboarding. Every time I go snowboarding, I sit down on a lift and I spark a fun conversation at some point, you know, like maybe 80% of the time it's like, oh, where are you from? Oh, how many runs have you done today? Okay, bye. Like, don't fall, or I might fall. I'm buzzed. Like, just FYI, get off fast. Like, that's the conversation 80% of the time. Yeah. But there's that 20% of the time that I would definitely say I always meet someone and they're like, oh, we're going to stop. Do you guys want to go grab a beer? Like,
totally.
So, yeah, I agree. The hobbies. People in Colorado love their hobbies.
Oh, big time. That's like why people live here, right?
Yeah, totally. And I was laughing with Jess and Meredith actually while we were hiking in Telluride, that I feel like in a lot of places in the U.S. in comparison, like the extreme sports people in Colorado are the most extreme. The most extreme.
Yeah.
Maybe other than like surfing. But like of all other sports, Colorado extreme people are like the most extreme.
Yeah, because and some people are like double, triple, quadruple tapping some of these things. They're like, I do fucking whitewater kayaking, and then I do like fucking rock climbing up crazy ass cliffs, and then like snowboarding or skiing extreme terrain. Yeah. So there's some people that are just doing this shit all year long, which is wild. Yeah. I mean, I love the videos of people like crushing it and hitting crazy ass terrain, but I also know I don't think that's ever gonna be me.
Yeah, I'm good on that. I need to live.
Yeah, I'll be chilling. You know, I'd like to do some backcountry stuff, but it's sick to watch. You know, some of these drop-ins, people just fucking drop off a cliff and they're just like flying.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, you got
humans are dope, man.
Oh yeah,
humans are fucking dope.
They are. They are. Yeah. Can also be extremely horrible, but mostly
always
dope.
two sides to any extreme, but
totally.
I think for the most part, I don't know. People at least we have the capacity to be really, really extreme in great ways.
Yeah, and I think I'm pretty optimistic. You know, I always play devil's advocate, but overall, I'm pretty optimistic, and I think most people are good and most people are cool.
Yeah.
And if you give most people a chance, you know, they'll be great. And I found that to be true almost anywhere in the world. You know, there's a few bad apples, but I don't know. People like to fearmonger a bit too much, especially if you watch the news or spend too much time on social media. They're like, oh, everything's fucked up. It's horrible. It's like crisis 24/7.
Yeah.
But when all actuality, if you don't worry too much about that and just go snowboarding and play volleyball and go hiking and meet cool people around and enjoy yourself, like, life is really good. You know?
Yeah.
And most people are pretty awesome.
I was listening to a podcast show recently, and they were talking about how, like, you know, our brains at this day and age, like, this is like the first time in really like human experience ever, like, we are seeing and being exposed to like all of the bad that happens in the world.
Right.
And like, this is the first couple generations of humans that are like intaking that much negativity. And like, not to say we should be like blissfully ignorant all the time, right? But like, at what point do you enjoy what you have in life and not just wallow in all of the shit that's happening?
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be shit happening, right?
Yeah, but we're not meant to be like exposed to it, like you said.
No, it's going to rewire us.
Yeah, totally. And it probably make people value life like less, you know, and they'll look at things so pessimistically and yeah, think that everything sucks all the time, and, you know, everyone's a child molester and everyone's a murderer and everyone is fucking horrible, or you know, if you're on over there, you're a bad guy, blah blah blah, or whatever, you know. And it's crazy. It shouldn't be like that, because yeah, if you killed that switch, like just turned the internet off, or we reversed back to, it's like 1980, most people would never see something like an execution. They'd never hear like all these horrible stories from all around the world or whatever. And again, it's not that ignorance is bliss, but you're not supposed to be involved in all of it.
I agree. Yeah. I think there's like, you know, having knowledge of what's going on in the world is okay, but to be exposed to all of it all the time consistently, I don't see that going well for our brains soon.
No, but we're still in this process of trying to figure out how we handle these things in a healthy manner, you know. And it's like everyone kind of knows spending too much time on your phone or whatever is not good for you, but it's hard not to sometimes. And then you see even people with little kids, and as soon as these kids are like running around, they like have a tablet in their hand or a little phone they're playing on, and it's just like so pervasive. It's everywhere. And yeah, we haven't quite figured out how to, as a collective, how to have balance with that.
Yeah. I think that'll take a while.
Yeah.
That'll take some time as we continuously grow with kind of becoming one with technology more and more. So.
Yeah. It's going to be a trip. Or we'll just become cyborgs, and they'll just put the phone in your head and you'll just be like,
oh, Jesus.
Just on the internet 24/7.
God, I hope not. I hope not.
It's going to be wild.
We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, we'll see. But for now, we should go see what these tacos hold.
Yeah, I'm ready for some shrimp.
All right, let's do it. All right, sweet. Well, good chat. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the show out. See you next time.